like the opposite in the way that he likes Pokemon, I like DBZ, and the reason I don't like Pokemon is because of all the screaming. The reason he doesn't like DBZ is because of all the screaming.
Okay. That's a weird argument to have.
Well, it's just because like Pokemon is like it's constantly but with DBZ it's because with the show they were making it after the manga, and the manga came out so kind of rarely. The show came out more often, so they have to do whole filler episodes.
Oh, is that why it was so long?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of the episodes were just filler episodes where they were just like powering up.
Yeah.
Like the whole episode was just so it's always as they're
Yeah, but that's just a weird argument to have. It's like I can understand. It's like, oh, I like Digimon better. No, I like Pokemon better, and it's because it's something comparable. But you're just like, no, it's either Pokemon or DBZ. That was it.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I loved Pokemon as a kid.
Don't get you wrong, but be careful what you choose to do, Jared.
What?
What?
Also, when I was a kid,
You smack talking Pokemon?
yes.
Oh.
Fuck Pokemon. No,
Fuck you.
Again, I loved Pokemon when I was a kid, but then I grew up.
Fuck you.
No, what was it? At some point, even though I was still kind of watching Pokemon, I really got into shit. What's the show about the mechs?
Gundam Wing?
Gundam Wing. I got really into Gundam Wing, and for some reason, my friends started making fun of me for it. And
Really?
they were also watching Pokemon, which is fine, but they were making fun of me for watching Gundam Wing for some reason.
Yeah.
And then it pissed my dad off. So he's like, "Yeah, you guys." He's like, "Jared's watching a show about these badass huge robots fighting. You're watching a show about these little babies with mommy, daddy, mommy, mommy."
Jeez.
He got really pissed. He was like,
Really?
not because. Well, not gonna lie, my dad does kind of have a little bit of a bias against Pokemon. He hates Pokemon just because
Oh, really?
it annoyed him. Like what I was talking about
well,
earlier.
Okay.
At least you gotta check mine.
Yeah, but I lost my
Oh yeah.
Maku mask.
Was that inspired by the Mario thing where you can be invincible?
Oh, probably. Like yeah, I would say that set like the there's Boxer. Can I set the rules for most platformers? Is this more of a? I guess this is a platformer.
Oh, this is definitely a platform. Yeah.
Okay, because there's not too much verticality to it. I guess there are in some modes though.
It was one of the first platformers though that wasn't side scrolling.
Yeah, there's the bonus stages are side scrolling though, so it did kind of bring that to it.
Yeah.
There
you go.
I thought I went over that one. Okay.
Oh, I see. Actually, I did too.
So I was trying to backtrack, like, oh, I missed that one, but okay.
Oh yeah, this was like a real changing period of video games because
Yeah.
it wasn't so much side scrolling and you still had lives. It was like one of the last games that you still kind of had like lives and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's still like part of that side scroller. Instead of going left to right, you're just going from back to forward.
Yeah.
So it's still
Like,
got
you still don't go
basic
backwards.
elements. Yeah.
I mean, there's one level where you go backwards, but as in you don't go back to where
yeah.
you came.
You just there's no backtracking.
Yeah.
Really. Like this one, sometimes there is because you want to go back down that path or go back down this one to go through the split, but for the most part, no. I was gonna try to get all the boxes, but I don't know if that's in this one. It's Crash 2. Look, there was if you get all the boxes, you get the gems or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Instead of the crystals, like there's the 2 different routes you can go.
Right.
Jungle Rollers. So, welcome back, Jared. I was trying to do a little something without you.
Yeah.
And LowLevelBoss has been kind of quiet lately.
Yeah. Well, that's because both of us have
Yeah.
a tough work schedule.
But I think my mom's gone to Let's Plays. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know. They haven't talked about it. I was like, oh, Dad, yeah, I've been playing some Fallout lately. He's like, yeah, I saw on your Facebook page. I was like, wait. Oh, man, I love playing this game, like when I was younger. I think I started with 2, because that was the first one I played, so I just stick with that. And then I got 1 for my birthday. I don't think I ever really finished 1.
Wait, which one is this one?
This is 1.
Oh, this is 1. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they were all really similar. I mean, they didn't really update too much.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
I didn't really realize because I started with Warped, which is 3, right?
Yeah. No, Warped was good. I mean, they got progressively better. Like,
but it's like not that much. Yeah, I always thought that the first two were like side scrollers, you know.
Yeah.
But no, they're almost pretty similar.
No, like it was one of those mentalities. Don't fix it if it's not broke. I mean, they were still in the same. I think Warped was on PS1, right?
Yeah.
Well, so they didn't really have much technology to kind of work with, but it was just like, hey, let's make it better. And so they kept adding stuff to it. Like
Right.
A certain level will be different. Like they'll start adding more riding kind of levels, where you just ride the polar bear, the surfboard, and then in Warped there was like the motorcycle kind of ones which were a little bit more fast paced.
There was the motorcycle. There was the jet ski, and then she rides some an animal. I can't remember what it was.
Bengal tiger.
Oh, that's right. I like how the skunks just walk into the holes. Are they lemmings? Disney's not involved.
Yeah. Oh god. Okay, so you do know about the whole thing where lemmings don't actually do that.
Yeah.
It's just the Disney people force them to get something interesting in their documentary. Oh yeah, here's where it gets a side scroller.
Oh yeah.
Come on, free life.
Cool.
Remember when lives were a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I was trying a little too hard with that one. Oh, and then his girlfriend at the end.
She's not that hot in the second one, or is that? No, that's his sister, isn't it? In the third one, or second, whatever.
Yeah.
Why did I just see Spyro the Dragon Flash?
It's my saves.
Oh, okay.
And this is before like people really knew memory cards all that much, or if they didn't have one, you can get the password for it.
Oh yeah.
Like they still did that. I think that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's right. I forget about that. You know, back in the old games, you know, had saves, you just had passwords.
Yeah. What was the first save game? Was it Legend of Zelda? I know that was the first popular one at least, but
yeah, I actually wouldn't know.
because they actually had to put a battery in the cartridge for that.
Oh yeah.
So they didn't really do that much in other ones, I don't think.
You missed 3 bucks. It tells you how many boxes you missed. I love
Thanks.
It's not how many boxes you got, it's how many boxes you missed.
I love how they handled the hub worlds in the second one. Not this one, but the second one.
Oh yeah.
Because this one, it's like you go backtrack through the islands, kind of like Super Mario World style, where you go
Right.
through the lines. But the other one was like you were in like an area where you go to portals. I think it was the same.
That's
the
yeah.
third
That's
one.
that's third
So
one.
it's like you never left the game. Like this is just kind of like outside the
Right.
game almost.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that was just way better. Oh yeah, I gotta go up. I mean, the cool thing about this is like each level progresses into the next one almost. Where the
Right.
other one was kind of separate. This one's like you're actually traveling. Like
Yeah.
so you're going through the forest and then now you come up to the big gate.
Yeah, see that's the difference because in Warped, you're literally going to completely different places and to completely different time periods.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool in itself. Oh, great. Okay, there we go.
Oh my god.
Then they gave the mask a voice later on. I don't know if you saw that. I don't think it was in Warped. It was in.
No, in Warped, he's one of the characters.
Okay, that's
He
what
actually
started.
talks and shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know he wasn't before
Does
that.
he have an evil brother in that one?
Does he? I can't remember. That sounds familiar.
Because that might be in the PlayStation 2 one.
Yeah.
Which I heard was pretty good, and I played it a little bit. I think I owned it for a little bit, too. But, I didn't really get into it as much as I did the other ones.
Right.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Gotta do that. And then it's gonna slowly turn. See, even though it's side-scrolling, it's still got some dimension to it.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of sucks because if you miss, I don't know. They don't. I don't think they apply it as like a way to navigate the level.
Right.
That whole it's called 2.5D. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
For sure.
Where it's like you have a little bit of the third dimension, but you don't. Really.
Right.
There's one game for the PS1 I want to get for us to play is Klonoa. That does that. It handles 2.5D like pretty well.
Oh yeah.
I thought I would have enough time, but I guess not. But that game I think is like $120.
Oh really? Why?
Because it was kind of like a not very popular game when it came out, but then it got a cult hit like after.
Ah, okay.
So it didn't have that many copies just floating around.
Right.
Oh my god, I hate the shield people so much. It's not about strategy, it's just about timing. Oh my.
Yeah.
I guess most of these games were not about strategy, to be fair.
Good point.
Just about, timing the jumps.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're playing this about the time that Fallout's come out. I really want to play Fallout, but we need to make some other videos too.
Right.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Okay.
Jesus. Yeah, I want to go back to Fallout. God damn it.
Have you played any of it?
Oh yeah.
Not to talk about another game while we're playing this game, but
yeah,
I've only played a couple hours. How many hours have you played?
I'm not 100% sure, but I could tell you I'm just at that, like I called it the Minecraft part. We were just kind of building the town.
Oh yeah, I've gotten to a part like that. I'm a little past getting the dog.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, I guess that's. I would say that's kind of where I am.
Did you know that there's a cheat for it right now that you can do? When you're going through the vault, you've come across this closed, really good weapon.
Huh.
Well, if you have the dog go to it and say, "Hey, fetch," then the dog will pull it out of the glass case.
Oh wow! I am trying to figure out exactly how to work with the dog about the full fetch thing. Like the first time I did it, I thought he was gonna go looking for items. But no, he just kind of digs. I'm like, what the fuck was that all about? So I'm still learning a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, he does actually. Like, if there's just something nearby that you don't notice, like if you're just going through an area, you cleared it out, and you want to just double check, you can have him fetch.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, stay on this game. Like, I really want to play.
Someone's like, watch. He's like, I just want to watch. This. What do you call it? Like, what do you call old games? Like, what's another word? Classic.
Or
like
old gen.
Yeah, like I just want to watch it, but they're just sitting there talking about fucking Fallout.
Yeah. I hate Fallout, and I just want to go back to when games were good. You know what I'm starting to realize about PS1 games? Not to make anybody mad, and I grew up with PlayStation 1.
Uh-huh.
There's very few that were good.
Yeah.
Even like Twisted Metal, like we were having fun with it the other day. It was still kind of just bad.
Well, like I said to Brandon, it doesn't really stand the test of time. I think for the time it was great.
Yeah.
It had good. The graphics were on par. It was,
But the problem is when we were playing PS2 games, and some PS1, like maybe Spyro, the PS2 games are great.
Yeah.
Like they really hit their a good momentum with PS2. But I guess it was just like a learning experience with PS1.
Yeah.
Like they were just getting 3D. They're still learning it. Oh,
yeah, well, exactly. They had to, because every time you move forward with shit like that, you have to.
You have that period where you're not going
to
be able to
improve the controls. Like, look at the old PC games. There was no WASD. You actually used the fucking.
Oh yeah, it was just random. It was just whatever they thought was good. And then they kind of developed a standard for it almost.
Yeah. So it's like that. At that time they developed 3D, so they're kind of trying to figuring out the controls, and that's where Twisted Metal kind of fails, I think.
Yeah. I think where it fails is because they didn't have enough firepower, or sorry, not firepower, computing power.
Oh yeah.
Like you couldn't go that fast with your car, and that's not because they made it slow. It's probably because the game couldn't handle everything was zipping around the screen real fast.
Yeah.
I almost jumped too soon. But yeah, I remember Twisted Metal Black was really good.
Oh, I love Twisted Metal Black.
It had the same elements. It was just. The story was okay, but they did try, a unique thing with each character. So that way you had, a backstory to each one.
Right.
But they had big play sets, and it was just really cool.
Yeah. It's funny because Twisted Metal Black was kind of like, what do you call it? It was kind of like what was it called? What was that Tony Hawk, Teenage Wasteland or something like that?
Ugh.
What the fuck was that? Anyway, it was like the first Tony Hawk game with a storyline, and that's kind of what Twisted Metal Black was. Because before it was just random getting points, just like the old Tony Hawks.
There was sort of a story to their little text biographies, but not really.
Yeah, then Black, they actually had cut scenes, and the thing about I don't know if I know I talked to you about it before, but I don't know if we talked about it on mic or camera, whatever you want to call it.
I know.
Was the fact that me and my brother were playing Twisted Metal Black, and my mom walks in. She goes, "Are you guys listening to the Rolling Stones?" And I never really listened to them. I mean, my mom's a huge fan, but but I guess it's because I never really cared for their big hits. But Paint It Black is such an amazing, beautiful song, and
been covered by so many bands.
Yeah, and I don't know
like that.
why fucking I Can't Get No Satisfaction is considered the good one. It's such a shit song. But when they had Paint It Black.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to sound like one of those like those. What do you call those? Those people that think I like the superior music, even though
douchebags.
Yeah, even though I am a douchebag.
Yeah, but you're a good kind of douchebag.
But Paint It Black is an actual deep, good song. But I Can't Get No Satisfaction. What?
It was probably just one of those things that it hit with more people, so it was just more. Not to use generic, but I guess generic would be kind of like the appropriate term for it.
So
I love these guys. They're like pointing straight to their mouth, like just come here.
Yeah. What's that?
What? Oh, I think a fish hit me.
Oh, and my feelings towards Call of Duty. Yeah. I got really pissed when they used Paint It Black for Black Ops 3 commercial. But like I said, I'm actually kind of interested in playing that now, just because of the zombie thing.
If you have the mindset of like, oh hey, I just want to play the zombies, I want to do the single player, that's fine. It's when people get too serious about the multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's what everybody associates with it.
Oh, I'm so hardcore.
Yeah. You can. It's a game that's doing really well, so there's really good design elements about it.
I mean, one of the reasons I want to play it is because it's a beautiful game. It really is.
Yeah, because I played Modern Warfare 2, actually the first one and the second one back in the day, and I really loved those. Just because the campaign was good, at least on Modern Warfare 1 was really good. It did something controversial, where it killed your main character.
Oh yeah.
And you had a little bit of chance
spoilers.
Oh my god. It was your main character's killed by a nuke, and so it was almost like that Psycho kind of moment,
right.
The main character's done. Okay, they're just done. They're not coming back. It's not a sci-fi. So it did that, but then I think Modern Warfare 2 they did it 3 times.
Oh really?
So they kind of went, oh hey, that was a cool moment. Let's just do it more. And so that's when it started to go off the rails.
It's that's how I felt about Paranormal Activity 2. They just took everything that was good with the first one and then just did it over and over and over and over and over again.
Well, that's the thing. It's when you're making the first one, you're not really knowing what's gonna work.
Yeah.
And even then, you're just kind of testing it out because it's a new franchise. You don't really care too much that it's gonna fail. You're just trying to test something new. But when it's an established franchise, you're trying to preserve what you did before.
Right.
So you're gonna keep redoing the same thing because you're gonna do almost like a fan service-y kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's usually why the first ones do really well, because they're not expecting to make a third one.
Right.
So they put all the effort into the one to make a 3-act structure. Whereas when you go into the second one, they leave it for a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
This applies to movies too. So that way, when you get to that second one, it doesn't really end. It's waiting for you to watch the third one. Because they've already, started to make the third one, or they made both of them at the same time, or whatever.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's why the first ones always do really well, and then the other ones kind of just peter off because they split up one movie into 2 to get that trilogy.
God, there's so many could point to Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix is a big thing because a lot of people gave the Matrix a bad rap, but I think I don't know if they did an edit or whatever, but they just took the second and third ones and kind of spliced them together. And got rid of the sucky parts, and it was a good film.
Oh, really?
I think they also did it with the original trilogy for Star Wars, where Anakin was only a kid for a little bit. I need to search it. I've heard about it, but they kind of cut out the bad parts, and they just made only about 2 movies, maybe 1 movie.
Yeah. And
it was actually pretty good.
Huh?
Because the problem with what they were doing is there was good set pieces, good moments, but there was so much talking in between. There wasn't really enough
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I would say action, but even then, there was good kind of action sort scenes. They were really cool and high production, but they weren't emotional.
Right. Yeah.
Something you can compare to was when Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting in the lava planet.
Yeah.
It's really cool and it's really high budget and it's just like massive like set, and they're just going through this like, and they're fighting and all that. And then someone compared it to Luke and Anakin or Darth Vader fighting. Luke and Darth Vader, they were just going, doosh, doosh, but there's so much quietness and like drama to it. And then they showed the scene where when Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting, they're just zooming their lightsabers around themselves, and it's just like, okay, this is boring.
Oh yeah. Have you watched Red Letter Media?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He talks about.
I might have got that from him. Yeah.
Like when my coworker was talking about the lightsaber scenes in the more recent trilogy were so much better because they're so much fun. I'm like, yeah, but nothing's happening.
They missed the point. They missed the drama of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And for one, in the original series, in the 70s one, like it's just that there's so much. How is it? It's more. It's almost like a real sword fight. Nobody actually fights like like the next trilogy.
Yeah.
Like constantly just.
It's very showy and it's not primal enough to get to that point. But yeah. All right. I guess we're hitting the 20-minute mark.
Oh, holy shit. Yeah.
We'll cut it off. Star Wars, I guess, right?
Star Wars. Yeah.
All right. So we'll just continue in the next part, maybe. Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No, we're done.